Dayton Mayor Nan Whaley announcing she's running for mayor in 2022. Just an hour ago, she joins us live to discuss her candidacy. And now we're turning to Wright State political expert Dr. Lee Hanna to help us break down her decision to run. Now, we just talked to her moments ago, and she said she wanted to serve the state, main reason why she ran for governor. But do you think there's anything else in play when it came to making a decision on whether or not to run for the governor's seat or the Senate seat?
Yeah, so I think this makes a lot of sense given her background and the name that she's made for herself in the last several years now, not only in the Dayton area, but at the state level and even at the national level, she's become much more involved. And so this is a sensible next step for her. I think that she was one on the short list in terms of rumored of who would be running for governor. It also makes sense that she would be running for governor, I think, for two reasons. One is some very direct conflict that she's had with Governor DeWine, assuming he's the incumbent and running for re-election. But then also, Tim Ryan is probably going to lose his seat in the House because we're going to lose a district, and more than likely he's going to have a hard time holding serve there. And the way federal campaign finance works, he can run for Senate and kind of roll his money over. And so that also makes sense that he would want to be in that lane compared to governor, where he'd have to start from the ground up.
Both of them, the two strongest Democratic candidates in the state. Do you see any other Democrats stepping up that could potentially challenge Whaley for the governor's seat?
So I think the only person in the race right now is the mayor of Cincinnati, Cranley, who's at least announced. I am not as linked into those circles to know who else may be considering. I mean, I do think that there are always structural advantages to being from Cleveland or Columbus, just in terms of fundraising and name recognition and everything else. But at the moment, I'm sure Mayor Whaley made this decision having some sense of who was and who was not interested as she's put her name in the ring.
Now, I'm just curious, Governor DeWine is the incumbent right now, but he is already facing some opposition from some other Republicans in the state who don't like the way he handled the pandemic. Do you see a potential challenger that could give DeWine a run for his money on the Republican side?
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting thing. I think DeWine has two challenges coming up. One is, does someone flank him from the right in a primary? And if you look at the Senate candidates, with Timken and Mandel in particular, I mean, they're as critical of DeWine as they are of the Democrats at the moment. And so that could really affect him. And then were he to still, win and hold on, he has a lot of advantages as an incumbent. But you might have a race where the Republicans can't run as close together. If Josh Mandel's race is predicated on criticizing DeWine, they're not going to be able to lock arms and kind of, dig in and pursue the same base, where I don't really see much space between Whaley and Ryan if those are the two nominees or any other Democrats. And so that could be a way. This is still a tough state to win, as we've seen in recent years for Democrats, but that could be a way that they could make up some ground.
As always, we appreciate your expertise. Thank you so much, Dr. Lee Hanna, for joining us this morning.
Thank you.